Hey guys, it's Jouelzy, and today is my Smart Brown Girl day. Every Thursday, I am so sorry. Well, I do apologize. I try not to say sorry, for color girls who've committed suicide when the rainbow is enough. Sorry shouldn't be greeting you at your front door. But I do apologize for getting this video up so late. I've just been rather unmotivated for the past 2 days, and it's kind of funny to even say that considering what this video is actually going to be about. But I don't even know that I have the words to articulate exactly what I'm going through in my head, but I'm trying to self-manage and maintain here, and so I'm not in a bad space, which is why I don't understand why I'm having anxiety right now. I don't know what it is that I'm actually currently worried about other than, paying rent. That's always a concern of mine. But I don't know. Girl, click an ad, make me feel good, turn your ad blocker off. I recently had the opportunity to attend Oprah's Life You Want weekend tour at her Houston stop. I went with the KG Lifestyle, my soror and fellow YouTube vlogger. I am so happy that I had the opportunity to go. So happy that I sent my mama to the Miami stop. She said it was definitely worthwhile. And I feel like there were things that were talked about in the weekend that I wanted to talk about with my Smart Brown Girls. P.S. I got Smart Brown Girl shirts in the mail today. So let's go over the material things first. First, we got an awesome soft gift bag. I actually used the bag. It was like a pouch bag, and I don't know where mine is. It's bright yellow, and I am just missing everything in my house right now. I don't even have a lot of furniture in my house, but one by one, things are just walking out, disappearing, and I don't know how they're disappearing because where could they possibly be? I don't know where my bag is, and maybe if I find my Oprah weekend bag, I'll find something else that I happen to be looking for. Girl, off topic. But what was in the bag was more important. So I got a new cleaning system from Olay Professionals. Yeah, I already have one. I recently did a video on the one that I currently have, my skincare on fleek video. I actually just used it before I put my makeup on to do this video. But I'm gonna try this one too. I think I'm gonna keep one in my bathroom and then probably just pack this one in my suitcase because I do use these. I don't really have bad skin or whatever, but I'm really lazy when it comes to taking off makeup properly, and these help me a whole lot with keeping my skin clean. And I've seen a difference in my skin kind of having a natural glow. I don't even have any foundation on right now. Also, Oprah gave out Mophie cases for the iPhone 5. Too bad for all the folks that have Androids, but I have. H-E-B sponsored the Houston stop. I love H-E-B, girl. I'm about to go, as soon as I finish doing this video, I'm about to go to H-E-B, give me some play stuff. H-E-B had a little thing set up. I ran up to them with the quickness, oh my gosh, I love H-E-B. I want H-E-B to sponsor me for something, girl. H-E-B I'm in H-E-B every other day. I live 5 minutes from H-E-B in Pearland, and I'm literally in there 10 o'clock at night just for no damn reason, just because I'm bored. Ads really were nice. And then it comes with a planner. This is for 2015. Well, actually, this is for 2014. And in 2015, it has calendars, date scheduling, and notebook in the back. I need to actually use this. Oh, girl, Oprah just knew my life, that I don't have an ounce of organization in my body, and I need to get it all the way together. So I'll be using that. Everyone got one of these. This was the kind of the booklet that goes over the whole mission for the weekend. Oprah looking fabulous. When she came out in that yellow dress, girl, yellow is my favorite color. She was just giving me all my life in that yellow dress. Different sayings that kind of tie into the talks that are given. The workbook was also in here. And so Saturday was from 9 to 5. I am not a morning person. Kayla got up, left my house, and got up there to see Deepak Chopra, but it wasn't no way you finna get me out the house prior to 10 a.m. So I got there after the first workshop, but I still did it. It's you had to close your eyes, picture someone you love, see their face, and what do you wish for them. And I'm sure in the moment, I actually kind of said that I wasn't there for this because I feel when you're in, a lot of this stuff may seem rather redundant or like cliche or whatever. But when you're in an environment and you're feeling all that energy, a lot more emotions tend to come up, a lot more honesty tends to happen. And I think that's why this Life You Want weekend was so great, because they didn't really say anything that I haven't heard before, but it's just to be in that environment, to hear the stories, and to kind of have this collective energy of coming together and being open, that it definitely influences it. I closed my eyes and I saw my daddy, and then like 10 seconds later, my mother was like, in my mind, she was like, you just gonna always think about your father, you can't think about me. So then I envisioned her too, and I wished for them financial security and love with no wants, happiness in knowing how much they have blessed others and are an inspiration. And I'm not finna read the rest because I already feel myself getting emotional, so we're gonna leave that right there. Then the second workshop was about seeing your life today, and you had to list all the things that are most important ingredients to the life you want. And then you had to break the circle down into pies and distinguish what's most important for you in your life, and then use smiley faces to decide whether you were good, so-so, or bad in those arenas. Now, I am cynical. That's just who I am. So Kayla had a bunch of happy faces all over her chart. And I'm just kind of like, I always just think I could do better. That's just how I think. I don't know that I was like, I think I might be fulfilled. I'm getting to the point of being fulfilled in my friendships. And I think I'm getting there because I understand that friendships will always go up and down, and they're not always just going to be perfect. And so when I have breaks or dissolutions or evolutions in friendships, they don't hit me or attack my psyche as hard as they used to. And if I really sit down and think about it, I have like some dope ass friends. Like I'm happy about my family. Like I love my family, but I do kind of feel guilty about being the oldest child and not being able to financially support or help my parents. And I do feel like I should be giving them back to them, but I'm hoping that sooner rather than later that can come to fruition. And everything else, I think I'm just still working on. Like I'm not dating currently, so spouse is still there. My financial situation, I'm transitioning into like this YouTube thing. I don't know how it's been to work out, but a career passion I feel happy about, but you know, I'm still transitioning. I think I'm just, a lot of my life, I'm kind of in a transition part. So nothing is particularly bad. I'm just kind of working towards being happy with it. And the last one was, you have to cross out all the language that you're gonna stop using, like I'm tired, or I feel fat, or I'm so stressed out, and circle the words and ideas you wanna use more often. So to be obedient to the call, essentially. And then the last step was to write down the vision of yourself living the life you want. And so that's why the first step was to envision someone else, because typically it's just easier to think of what you want for other people, to think of how other people should be living and being giving towards them. But for ourselves, it's often hard to, in very literal terms, kind of envision what it is specifically that we want, because we just start freaking out about if we want the right thing or not and all that other stuff. So I didn't finish the last workshop, but she said to do that and go home and do it. So eventually I will. So first night, Oprah came out, and her favorite poem is Invictus. Anybody who plays, you know, we all done learned Invictus. Ain't nobody ever gonna forget that poem. You know, out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole, I think whatever God's may be for my unconquerable soul. I'm not online, so I'm not finna recite that whole poem. But, you know, it definitely struck a chord with me, because obviously there's a reason why during your intake process you learn that poem. And then I think for a lot of people, even outside of like the Greek system, Invictus just really is a poem about, you know, becoming the captain of your fate. That's something that I've kind of subconsciously talked about here on my YouTube channel, and about defining your own reality and creating your own story to success. It definitely, I mean, it made total sense when she started off her speech with that poem. So Oprah kind of went through her trajectory from being a girl who was born in Mississippi, to her time spent in Minneapolis, to Baltimore, to becoming the Oprah that we know today. And you know, I think a lot of us are aware of her story. A lot of us know her story. It's public information. But we tend to forget that she really did work her way up. She didn't do anything extraordinary to get to where she got to. And that's not to say that she's not an extraordinary person. Everything she did was very tangible to the resources that we have to pursue our own dreams and become successful. You know, she went through a lot of ups and downs. Her success definitely didn't happen overnight. You know, when she talked about being a newscaster in Baltimore and then making her go get a relaxer and it pulling all her hair out and her being bald, and she showed a picture of what she did, essentially big chop all her hair. You know, you really forget about how long it took Oprah to get to where she's gotten to. And I think sometimes we tend to focus on the end results so often that we overlook the journey that it takes for one to get wherever they've landed. You know, her kind of points were to pay attention, be still, listen, and follow the flow. About the importance of sharing and not keeping to yourself. Because I think so often when we start to pursue journeys that are not similar to anyone else's trajectory, we isolate ourselves because we don't want judgment, or we don't want to allow other people in who are going to negatively impact us. And then we kind of rescind from being willing to share ourselves with others. And that's why I've committed myself to pushing through and doing this YouTube channel even in the times when I'm not feeling motivated and I really don't want to get up and do videos, because this is my way of sharing myself with other people. This is my way of sharing, and hopefully even in my flaws, helping other people to find goodness in themselves. And then Ayala, who is just messy. Ayala is so messy. I mean, I'm messy, so I don't mean that in a mean way. But she came out talking about she had a bad week, so she finna drink her bottle of wine on stage while she talks to us. But I low-key feel like she do that at every city, and I don't think she's having a bad week every week. I think she's just a sister in tune with my spirits, because I got 2 bottles of open wine sitting on my counter right now, and I like to take my sip on the regular as well. You co-create your life with every intention, and that your intention determines the outcome. So essentially, you're responsible for the energy that you bring into your room. And I think that's one of my keen things about the whole Smart Brown Girl movement. It's not always about what it is you're actually doing, about the physicality of the things that you do, but more so about the kind of mindset and intention that you go into things with. Being on this kind of YouTube platform, and I recently had a conversation with my network just about their lack of doing anything for me. And they essentially, in so many words, what I took away from it is that they just don't get this whole Smart Brown Girl thing. I'm not doing hair videos anymore. I don't particularly do a whole lot of beauty videos. So they don't know how what I do is of value to other brands and their value to bringing me other opportunities. And it is disheartening because I get told no a lot with trying to pursue this Smart Brown Girl movement, whether it's trying to book somebody to interview them on my YouTube channel, or trying to leverage getting other opportunities with brands to bring more access to, my audience to things, and people just not getting it. We as a culture value people that work in music or entertainment or comedy. Those are things, especially when you're talking about Black women or Twitter. Twitter always seems to be my weak point because I don't have a lot of Twitter followers. But that's what they think is how you captivate a Black audience. And so when I start talking about Smart Brown Girls, and I'm not necessarily talking about politics, I'm not necessarily talking about beauty, but I'm talking about just being allowed to be and define your own reality and your own success, and celebrating us as women as 360 individuals. It's just over so many people's heads. And but I know that my intention is good, and that I feel like it's going to be a slow build. It's not going to happen overnight. It is something that I have to work towards, and I'm committed towards working towards that. And so what I rely on is my intention, and the fact that, I have Smart Brown Girls out here who do see the good intention in it and are effing with it, so we're going to keep at it. Integral when they said that everything outside of yourself is trying to tell you who you are, and then that's why you have to embrace the silence and listen to yourself. And I was just talking to my homegirl the other night. Her mother passed away recently, and so she's having a hard time sleeping through the night. Because I keep a journal. And in my journal, I had recently written that I don't understand why I still feel lonely. Because, in grand scheme of things, I have a decent social life here in Houston. Like, I hang out a lot. Every time my mama called me, I'm out eating somewhere with some folk. But I still just feel lonely in the silence, in the house by myself. And I really have to kind of learn how to listen and value the silence. So, I'm doing a lot more reading. I'm working my way through the book of Psalms right now. And just you know, realizing that I can't run away from dealing with me. And I've done that for so long. I definitely think I'm on the path to cultivating the life that I want, though I don't really know how. That's why I haven't done the last workbook, because I don't really know how to articulate that. And I am scared of articulating that. I am scared of wholly defining what exactly the life I want is, because it's like, well, what if it doesn't live up to that? What if, you know, that's not what I really need? What if that changes? But like, you can't always be concerned about the what if. A lot of times you just have to do, and I know better, and I'm gonna do better, and I'm gonna work on it. And I think I've perpetually been scared of my own success. I made a conscious effort in these recent years to not strive for a life of comfort, because I feel like a lot of us tend to think that being successful is getting comfortable in life. And so comfort doesn't always preclude one to being happy. You can be comfortable being unhappy. You can be comfortable, because comfort is just being able to deal with the familiar and knowing that things aren't going to, you know, deter from what you are used to. And so, like, I'm comfortable being single. Me dating makes me extremely uncomfortable, but I know that in the long run, I want to have a family, therefore I want to have a husband. And so I have to push myself outside of my comfort zone and deal with people on an emotional level, even though dealing with emotions makes me extremely uncomfortable. That's why I wrote a book about it called Send It On. You should buy it. But it's just, so I can't strive for this level of comfort, because if I really was going to strive for a life of comfort, I would just sleep all day, never deal with new people outside of my already consistent friend circle. Times in these conversations about pursuing the life you want or pursuing the success, and basically I think for a lot of us as Black women, and therefore smart brown girls and smart brown boys as well, hey, it means that doing things and taking advantage of opportunities that our mothers and our ancestors did not have. You know, during my Smart Brown Girl Sip Wit and Chat in Brooklyn, I think Kim Foster of Fort Harriet, you know, brought up a good point about owing it to your ancestors to utilize the opportunities that they worked so hard for you to have, but they could because they never had them themselves. And I'm entirely paraphrasing here. This generation does have the opportunity to kind of create new lanes and pathways that just weren't afforded to our predecessors. We're pushing towards that, and we're showing all these success stories of people who have paved these innovative ways. Nobody really kind of talks about the discomfort that you feel in that path. In that, you know, I'm kind of getting to a point where like life is starting to make a lot more sense for me, and I'm feeling comfortable about who I am at my core as a person, but there's still a lot of discomfort around feeling like I'm okay or I'm all right in doing what I want to do. Like, I'm not hurt, you know, I'm not entirely super duper. I do kind of just wake up some days and feel like, do I have a right to do this? Like, is this it? You know, I'm a control freak in a lot of things, and it's learning about how not to overthink situations and how to just let go and know that I can work on the things that I know I can do and do correctly, and everything else I just kind of have to, you know, believe in the higher power, believe in God and in the universe, and that, you know, the universe will conspire to bring me everything great that I deserve. As long as I put everything out with good intention, I shall reap the reward of that in full. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, this is a long video, girl. You know, I like to ramble, and when I start talking about email things, I don't know how to get my whole feelings across. I can't really entirely see my future. I can see pieces of it. I can see milestones. I can see things that I want and I feel like I deserve, but I don't know that I can see the whole of what that's going to be, because I am just on this journey, and I'm working towards letting go of this idea of comfort, because I know it's just, I'm always going to be pushing myself outside of this box. And it is just a certain level of discomfort, but I don't know that discomfort is always a bad thing. And I think there are a lot of joys to be found in the mystery. You know, helped are those who are content to be themselves, never lack mystery in their lives, and the joys of self-discovery will be constant. Helped are those who lose their fear of death, the power to envision a future in a blade of grass. So my question to you, to all my smart brown girls for this week, if you made it to the end of this very long video, is: are you able to envision your future in the most literal of terms? Are you scared of it? What are you scared of in saying that this is what my life is going to be like a year from now? You know, do you have any insecurities about that? Are there any things that you are working towards doing better? How do you overcome? Are you scared of the silence like me? Is there anything that I talked about in this video that particularly touched you and that is something that you've been thinking about and working towards? Join the conversation. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for always watching and rocking out with me. I'm so excited for the Smart Brown Girl journey. It can only get better from here. Deuces.